The status of women in Oman is noticeably different from its neighbors. Sultan Qaboos actively encouraged women to become more involved in society.
You see women working in secretarial jobs. You see women working in hotels behind the desk. Virtually all of the key people concerned with family planning were women, most of them physicians. And in some other critical government ministries, like the Minister of Social and Labour Affairs, the Minister of Planning, it's quite common to see women who are in powerful positions.
Job education and training is part of official government policy encouraging Omanization. Increased employment of Omanis in what are now heavily guest worker sectors.
We're now training the Omanis to take over the work roles of the expatriates. We train them in many trades, from commercial training, which includes business studies, secretarial accounts training, through to technical, which would include welding, engineering, electrical, carpentry.
What kind of training do you have here?
We have two types of training. We train fabrication and welding for video standard, which is controlled welding in Oman.
One of the government's most important priorities is its policy of Omanization, which essentially means creating jobs for Omanis and weaning itself of this overdependence on foreign workers. So there are explicit quotas that vary by sector. For example, they hope to have 35% of the jobs in hotels and restaurants staffed by Omanis. These are flexible targets in the sense that everybody knows that it's not easy to reach those goals. But you certainly get a sense that this is a serious policy. And they do very much want, by the year 2020, to be in a very different position from where they are today.
The Omanization means for Jotun that we have to stick to the regulations from the government. For our business, we have to stick to 35% Omanization. The problem is, of course, that the educational system in Oman is still very young, and it's not that easy to get skilled people if you look for them in the market. You have to bring them into the organization, and you have to train them in what we call on-the-job training. You have to let Omanis go together with skilled people, skilled Jotun people, and then they will be trained for the job they're going to do.
One sector seeing more development in the name of diversification is Oman's fishing industry. The old road along the coast brings us to Sur, almost 200 kilometers southeast of Muscat. The main occupation in this area has always been fishing. But a new road to Muscat and the international airport also means new opportunities for the fishermen to find extended markets.
Where do you sell your fish?
What?
You export it?
America.
America?
America. America, France,
England,
Taiwan, New Zealand, Singapore, Indonesia.
And Oman is casting a wider net where other types of diversification are concerned.
The Omanis have made a conscious choice to attract high-end tourists. So they've built quite an extensive network of luxury hotels, 4- or 5-star hotels. And Oman has a great deal to offer them. It's an exquisitely beautiful country. The landscape is just magnificent. There's a lot there of historic interest, and Omanis are very gracious and hospitable. I think almost anyone who visits Oman comes away with a feeling that this is really a treasure. They hope that tourism will contribute, I think it's 5 or 6% of GDP by 2020. I don't think that's realistic. It's never going to be that important, simply because still people perceive Oman to be in a dangerous part of the world.
While perceptions about Oman's location may inhibit the growth of its tourist economy, its relative location to a regional powerhouse may dampen other diversification efforts.
Oman really lives in the shadow of Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Dubai is a remarkable place, become kind of the capital of the Arabian Peninsula. One of the reasons why Oman has had difficulty attracting light industry and foreign investment is because Dubai can do so much better a job. It offers more incentives. It has better infrastructure, better banking and telecommunications, a huge free trade zone. And Oman doesn't quite measure up.
For now, diversification and Omanization continue. Greater private sector employment of Omanis is critical as large numbers of young people reach working age.
About 44% of all Omanis are under the age of 15, and almost 70% are under the age of 25. So you've got an extraordinarily young population. Every year, 25,000 people graduating from secondary schools. And there's simply a huge challenge for the government to find jobs for all of those people. After the 1993 census, the government officially adopted what's called a birth spacing program. That received the full explicit support of the Sultan, which was essential. Otherwise, the whole notion of family planning would be met with a lot of concern. In Oman today, any woman who visits a clinic is exposed to family planning advice. You can't avoid it, in fact. And that seems to have had some results in terms of bringing down the fertility rate.
I'm working at receptionist, answering the phone, typing, and greet the visitors. I want to do something else, like maybe an account. I want to learn something because it's good for my future.
The future is very much in the hands of Sultan Qaboos, his leadership and ideas. Although great efforts have been made and good results have been achieved in Oman, nobody knows if the preparations will be enough to meet a future without the oil. The only thing the Omanis can be sure of is that this situation will come sooner or later. Oman's government sees economic diversification as the key to their future. Although it will continue to be dependent on expatriate guest workers, the policy of Omanization will play an important role in moving Omanis into the private sector. And, distinctive from other countries in the region, Oman has encouraged the education and employment of women as being vital to its future.